Hello to all my potential viewers watching this video. I'm here to give a review assessment on the English 3310 class Advanced Writing for the Summer 1 term and basically discuss about how it benefit me as a student and my overall purpose for how it is applicable to not only my student life but my personal life. So without further ado, here I go. Now I would like to start with the least liked assignment within the course. To me would be the Stephen King essay personally, but it still has its value. It started off with the background of Stephen King, how he was able to overcome adversity and some of the things he used to do as a child into becoming the writer that he is. And also within the back half of the book was him stating on how he go about the process of him writing personally, or how other individuals can get out of writing if they do a few things here and there, basically offering tips from what made him a successful writer, and acknowledge that everyone might not be a great writer, but you can still transform into a good writer if you continue to work on that skill. So to me, yes, it was the least like, but it still had its value to me, and I was able to get a lot of points out of it and apply it to how I was writing, and basically set the tone for the rest of the assignments in the course. Now, the most liked assignments would be the rest of the main assignments all together, because with the 5 letters that we had to write, to one from being to a business owner, one from being to the representative of our district, and other different scenarios that we had to write about within those letters of what we had to address, was to me was a very vital skill on how to go about how to address say your supervisor or your superior, or the public officials that's not, you feel that's not representing you well. I feel like if you know how to write to them and know how to clearly and concisely key down the main factors of what you're trying to persuade them of, or whatever topic you want them to take seriously, is a huge beneficial factor on how you could go about your everyday social skills when it comes to writing about a complaint, concern, or just a solution, I would say. And then also going to the summary report and the proposal. I mean, those are intertwined because for me, I chose to write about a basically an issue within the Arlington Police Department that I felt, you know, that I felt that the Arlington Police Department was racially disproportionately pulling over African Americans on motor vehicle contact, and being able to write that down and get and format it how I needed to format it, to where if I was to address a public official, say the city council, in a way to where it would be concisely put together where they could follow the narrative of what I want them to understand from my perspective of what I can see as wrong or unjust, and then also being able to see it from other individuals' perspective, or the rebuttal that you might come across, and able to address those concerns as well if you try to ask them to implement a solution, is key as well, because then you get to address and find a solution from other people's concerns on how they could do that certain particular solution and how it could be implemented. So knowing that you could go about it in that way in the summary report, which basically gives like a more brief summary of what you're trying to propose from the latter project, is huge. I think a lot of students need to learn how to write diligently to their public officials or their superiors or whatever organization or company they're part of, to express a key thought or concern that they may have, and they may not comfortably be willing to express directly through verbal communication. So those are huge beneficial factors for me, and I wouldn't really change anything about the course. It was pretty much fast paced, so I'm an ambitious individual. I consider myself a bit tenacious, and that the pace was right on course for me to be able to not stalemate anything in between and just work directly from start to finish. So it was a huge benefit for me. I would say, um, I would say a reading of some sort could be implemented within a more diverse cultural set of what others could bring to the table outside of just Stephen King. But I mean, there's nothing negative I would have to say about that assignment. But just something that some students could probably read that would they could relate to personally. Like me, I like James Baldwin and other authors of that particular nature or tone, sometimes to learn and write about, and taking their rhetoric and kind of putting my own twist to it as well. So that's probably be about the only, I would say, concern that I would like to address if I had one. But other than that, the course was great. I was able to learn a lot. I felt like I developed another skill level to my writing, and it basically served its purpose. So I would like to thank Miss or Dr. Carol, excuse me, for the time that she has put in, and especially giving clear instructions on helping me develop my assignments and to also help make my assignments be prepared that much more better from an individualistic standpoint to make the highest grade I need to. So thank you, and I enjoyed myself.